It's something.
That's a really good question.
Or the edit programs.
I mean, it blows away recording it on your phone. I'll tell you that much.
Y'all can go 3, 2.
Como vai? Welcome. This is another edition of the SuPeR. It is I, Polo Parata, in my gimmick mask. Ray Phoenix, this time from AEW, the Lucha Brothers. Hey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Rough week, but...
Yes, it has been a rough week. For me, I've been moving for the past 3 days, and I'm still not finished. After this show, I'll have to go back and move some more. So, I'm sore, tired. I took 2 days off the move, and I'm still moving.
if you can wait for me to get out of visiting, I'll help you move the stuff.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
All right.
Anyway, we have a guest here. I've known this guy for a long time. We have been partners. I've managed his musical career for quite some time, and he has an album finally, and we're gonna talk about this album first. Mr. AG, the Coroner.
Peace. Chicken grease was popping.
What's popping, sir? So, I brought you on the show for many of things, but first of all, how are you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Corona survivor. One time around. Hopefully not a second time.
Right.
And, just working and enjoying life as much as possible through this pandemic.
So you say you're a COVID survivor. How did it feel to go through it?
I thought I was going to die, straight up. It was early on. It was maybe the second week of March when I got sick. And shortness of breath, I lost my sense of smell, I had no appetite. The biggest thing with me was the shortness of breath because I was already born asthmatic. I haven't suffered from the asthma in a while, but I've never felt anything like this coronavirus. I slept on my stomach for about 16 days. Lost 20 pounds, had a face full of hair. And at the same time, it's new, so I'm following this virus on social media, and I'm just seeing death. So I'm like, all right, any day now, I'm out of here. So it was scary, but made it through, man.
Did you try to trace your steps to see where you think you may have contracted it from?
I'm pretty sure that it happened along my travels to my occupation, train.
Yeah.
The train station or the system, the MTA had to be the biggest form of transmission.
Yeah.
Throughout the city.
Because all the germs and...
I don't understand why they didn't shut that down immediately for at least 4 weeks and find, alternate ways to get essential workers where they needed to be.
Right.
Were there any lingering effects? Like, do you still feel this, or you got over it? You're good.
Depending on the weather, if it's a little humid outside, I still suffer from shortness of breath. Not all the time, but they are, here and there.
Did you get the red marks on your cheeks?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so... But it's good that you're still here, because, you have a lot of living to do.
I survived
you have
East New York, man.
Huh?
I survived East New York for
That's what I'm saying.
How many years? I'm gonna let a virus kill me?
Yeah. You come from the hood. We've all come from the hood.
The
so.
super duper.
So it's like
grittiest of.
You wasn't gonna let this virus take you under.
Nah, I was gonna fight it, man. I did. Rocky Balboa with it.
But let's get on to this album.
Hang on. Did you have to go to a hospital, or did you just do this at home by yourself?
I did it at home. I was afraid to go to the hospital because the things I was hearing about coming out of the hospitals were crazy. People were going in. The doctors didn't really know what they were dealing with or how to treat it. So you was basically a guinea pig going into the hospital. Let's try this, let's try that. And they say that once they put you on a vent, it's pretty much downhill from there. And that was happening to a large percentage of the people that were being hospitalized.
So, let's leave that there. I'm glad you're here, but we have to talk about this album, Fresh Grapes, that was recorded in Park Slope.
2013, baby.
2013. That's when me and AG was running around Park Slope. I actually lived in Park Slope at the time, so it was like literally going from one part of the slope to the next. And what are your memories of recording that album?
Walking up that long staircase to that brownstone, ATG's crib.
Yep. Shout out ATG.
Recording with no shoes on. You
Yeah.
know, that's a thing of mine though.
Yeah.
I don't like to wear shoes when I record for some reason. I just feel more comfortable.
He's like, I gotta be barefoot to fucking record this song.
And I just remember the raw feeling of this is the first project. There is no direction. We're just gonna go off of feeling. Whatever the beat, brings out of me, that's what we're gonna do. And it was a fast process.
3 weeks,
just rolled smoothly. It was 3 sessions.
Yeah, it was like, it was real quick. I remember because you was doing like four songs a session, and like knocking them out. Like, because I remember I was there for was it New York Never Left?
Yeah.
And you did that like in less than a couple hours.
And that was 3 verses.
Yeah, but and it's a long song.
Yeah.
And you was like, I remember you said, "Yo, I'm done. I'm finished." And then you just went in there and just recorded it, and then boom, that was it.
And everything was consolidated into ATG's closet.
Yeah.
So we had the computer in there, the board, the mic. We had Spit Gems come by.
Yep.
Lord Nez, Sag was with us.
Shout out Sag. I ain't seen him in a long time. Shout out Lord Nez. Haven't seen him in a long time.
We had Mikey Don was in there.
Yep.
Shit Nutso. So shout out to everybody who came through, man. That was a hell of an experience.
So do you remember? I remember. So when it came out, remember we had a little partnership with Man Bites Dog Records,
That's correct.
and they brought it out because we were. I know when I was talking to you, we were thinking just push it out on our own. But some way we got connected with. I forgot how we got connected with Man Bites Dog, but maybe through the Rock Marciano thing. But
We didn't put it out contractually.
no, they just brought it out under them.
Yeah, we just.
You know what I'm saying? They
used
They
their
basically
banner.
literally just took it and just we're gonna bring this project out.
Yeah,
So
it was-
what's the name of the record label that this record's on? Is it independent or is it?
It's independent, but what I'm trying to say is that when it came out, like he was saying, Man by Dog record, they brought it out.
Okay.
Contractually, he still, like, to me, you still own the project.
Yeah, we didn't want to wait to put it out.
Right. We just
We
wanted to
wanted
bring
to
it
put
out.
out. I mean, so
I remember that.
when- by the time Man Bites Dogs came around, we just kind of used their banner.
Yeah.
So we didn't owe them anything for this.
I don't remember. Do you remember? And I was going to ask you this. Was that before we went to South by Southwest or after we went to South by Southwest? Did you connect with them? Because if I remember right,
After
you connected with them there. Because
Yeah.
Ryan was there when we was at
he was at the Rock
performing.
Marcy show.
Right. And he
Yeah.
was in your ear all night,
Yeah, right after we got off stage, right after me and Mayhem
Right.
got off stage, Ryan just gravitated to me, so I knew there was something brewing there.
Right. Because, I remember you guys performed, but then I was running around with a young lady in Texas, if you remember.
Was it?
It was a young.
Was it one young lady?
Huh? It was some young lady. We was in the fucking, we went someplace and then it was
The
so crazy.
restroom?
Huh?
The restroom, I think.
It wasn't the restroom. It was like the damn alleyway.
Oh, okay.
And then remember I showed you a picture?
It was very dark and smoky.
Yeah.
It was- yeah.
You remember we had to drive her from some ways when we was in Texas? This girl I had met, and the next thing I know, we was making out all over the place and just doing all
Yeah.
types of stuff.
I remember that very
Yeah,
vividly.
you remember? But anyway,
Hell of
I
an
don't want to get off center. So they brought it out, and we had a good buzz, especially when "Welcome to My World" dropped and the album and the video
We
dropped.
did the visuals for that.
Yeah, everybody was like AG, oh shit, like AG. And then I remember when we used to perform it, like we used to go to the shows, in Brooklyn and wherever. Bro, everybody liked that song. And it just like kind of, and you know what else? Another song, I don't think it was on here. Remember Blades in the Wind?
Yeah, we put that on Sip the Nectar.
Yeah. But Blades in the Wind, that's another song. But I'm saying that it was.
But that was around that
older,
time.
Yeah, it was still around that time. You was performing it.
Even in ATL when we did A3C, the Combat Jacks showcase.
Yeah.
And we did that record. Welcome to My World. I was surprised. Like that was
They
a lot
love
of
that song.
ATL natives,
Right.
and they weren't really used to that kind of I guess, that style of music at the time. The trap was really, the takeover at the time over there.
Yeah.
And we were coming with some real gritty East Coast, slow paced music. And
it was like more boom bap.
Yeah, and they liked it.
But they liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to some of your music. It's very New York sounding. It's like indigenous to New York. And in the 90s, I feel like New York was like the center of hip hop. So like we really, it's a piece of us. How do you feel like the scene has changed now that music has moved from like New York more to the South? Like, is it harder for like New York rappers to get noticed now that the industry isn't like here predominantly?
I feel like at a time it was when the switch first started to come about, when the South, takeover first started. It was hard because their style of music was taking over, every region. It made New York artists want to sound like them. It made West Coast artists want to sound like them. Midwest, everybody kind of just wanted to use that sound because they saw how successful it was commercially. But I think today that New York, that old New York style is kind of back, and you could attribute that to rock in the beginning, to Griselda today. And now it's like everybody wants to switch back to that style now. So I'm hearing artists out of every region using this, style of music, that real slow, grimy, sample-heavy stuff. So I feel like the street music is coming back, and I think it makes it a little bit easier for native New York artists to break through or be heard now.
Do you feel like Hispanic artists are at like an inherent disadvantage in the rap game? Because there's not many like Hispanic rappers. That you got a Big Pun, a Fat Joe. I can't even really Thurston Howell to like, not as a mainstream. Why is it like such a hard thing for like people to gravitate towards like a Hispanic rapper?
At one point, I think it was when, in the beginning with artists like Fat Joe and Pun breaking through and Thurston and such, and then you have the artists who are half Latino, like AZ and Fab, Noriega. But I think today there are a lot of Latino artists who get props or make a lot of noise, but they don't wave the flag as much as we did back then. I think back then we kind of had to do that, show that we're Latino. Today, I don't think you get that as much. So it's kind of, everybody just blends in together. So these guys are not really screaming, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, I'm Cuban or Panamanian, but I don't think they have to anymore because we kind of just proved, I guess, at some point that we belong.
But we basically were around, like we saw how rock went from here to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
We was there when he really started, his really like getting it in. We were there. I think his last 4 projects we were around. That's a lot of stuff I remember. And I do remember, the Mayhem Action, I say separation from you. Back then, like, what do you remember how, because I remember it off of just like one incident, how like I saw that it was real, because me and you would talk about it, but I actually saw it fully, like I was telling you when we was at that Urban Plaza show, that there was something there, like, because at first you'd be like, yo, this and that, and you don't see it, but the way they acted towards us at that show, it was just crazy. Like the energy was just off.
The funny thing to me was like, I was always invited to these shows.
Yeah, and that's what I don't get.
I never just showed up.
Yeah.
I was always getting a phone call, we're here tonight, you coming?
Right.
Yeah, sure. And I never showed up with the intentions of performing. I knew that we had a lot of work together.
Right.
But a lot of that work was early on. outdoorsman stuff.
Right.
So, you know, we maybe had, with everything on Respect the Fly shit or Actions albums or Maze albums, we probably had a good 10 to 12 joints together.
Mm-hmm.
And not all of those were, I guess, performance worthy,
Right.
in their opinion.
Right.
So I didn't always show up expecting to hit the stage, but I would show up to support.
Right.
Because I felt like that's, you know, the right thing to do.
Right.
If we're a band of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I've never been given a reason as to why the separation occurred.
Well, I mean, I think what it was, if you asking me, because, you know, I was on your end, but what I could see is, you know, you're very opinionated on social media. And I think what you started doing was that people that they were, I guess, having partnerships with, you were coming at those people. So if you're coming at them, and it's like you're kind of messing up.
I mean, we could say I was coming at one of those people.
I mean, yeah, Troy Ave.
And he
Yeah.
only had business with
Right.
one of those guys, and it was
Right.
short business.
Yeah.
It wasn't even necessary business, to
Right.
be honest.
Yeah.
And I think after the fact, everybody can see that
Yeah.
that union wasn't even necessary.
Right.
There was a misconception that I was bitter. Even last year, I think the ending of last year, me and Mayhem got into it over Twitter. Somebody asked me a question, I
Right.
answered the question, and then he decided to give his version of the truth.
Right.
Listen, man, I'm 43 years old.
Right.
I've never had to lie a day in my life. Anything you hear out of me is coming from a truthful place. I have nothing to lose. They tried to put out to the public this impression that I was bitter because my career didn't take off the way theirs did, or that they were somehow responsible for me not blowing up, quote unquote. But I was never bitter about that because I've always been able to hold my own as a solo artist.
Right.
That was the intention from day one.
So would you say it's like a blackballing thing? Like
I wouldn't
when
say-
someone takes responsibility for something like that, that's heavy.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily blackballing because I don't think that those guys have enough power to do that. But I think that some of the guys they work with were scared away or shied away from working with me after. And, you know, they work with some guys that are pretty prominent, some of my favorite producers.
Mm-hmm.
So that was unfortunate. But there's still a lot of people that worked with me after the fact,
Right.
didn't care, and, you know.
But I mean, you can clearly see that people did take a side.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. I mean,
If you want to say I was bitter, you can say I was bitter over feeling betrayed by guys that I call my family.
right.
So that's the part that bothered me. If I call you my brother, I treat you as such. I don't care about the music. We could never do a record again for the
Right.
rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But if I call you my brother or my friend, that's sacred to me.
Right.
So that's the part that upset me. So when I speak on these things, that's the point that I'm trying to get across. And then, you know, action doesn't speak on it.
Right.
But like I said, when me and May got into it, he tried to change the narrative and say, oh, he's bitter because we're here and he's there, and
Right.
has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I still accomplished things after we split.
Mm-hmm.
I still made an album that made all the top album of the year list.
Yeah.
I still got a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
I still did shows. I was still working with prominent artists.
Mm-hmm.
I still fulfilled my dream of working with Cool G Rap,
Oh yeah.
who
That
reached out to me, by the way.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big one. I remember that.
Yeah, so
If you can work with another person that you haven't worked with, like who would it be right now?
Nas.
Nas.
Yeah.
Now let's go outside the box. Like outside rap, like any genre.
Any genre of music. Can I choose artists who have passed?
Oh yeah, because he's an R&B guy. He's probably gonna pick an R&B dude. You know how you get.
All right. So someone living.
Someone living, yeah.
Oh boy. Raphael Sadiq. I think
He's a
he's a
good one.
musical genius. I love his music. I love his energy.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
He's that guy. But the reason I asked you if I could choose someone that had passed because John Lennon is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah, he's all over the place with the music. AG listens to everything. But bro, what do you remember about since we don't have a nightlife anymore? What do you remember about the Santos Party House days that me and you were involved in that we can talk about?
Before we get to that,
yeah,
let me just close out the.
Oh, go ahead.
What we
go
were
ahead,
talking
I
about.
thought I didn't know if you was finished.
I just want to say, you know, I don't have a bitter bone in my body.
Right.
I still do what I do. I'll continue to do that. I still have an array of people who can we curse here?
Yeah, of course.
Who fuck with me or love me.
The hell do you think this is?
And when people try to break your character, you have to think about it. Have you ever seen anybody else speak down on my name? Or anybody else treat me the way those guys have treated me?
No, not really.
No, not at all. So you're talking about 2 or 3 people out of how many? Because I know a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of relationships.
Right.
That says everything. So you have one crew or a few guys who, you know, may feel away.
Right.
And then everybody else has no problem. That in itself speaks the truth.
Right. I mean, because listen, it was crazy going through that. I mean, like, dude.
It
like,
was. And I wish those guys nothing but the best because
you know what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
just who I am.
Like, they took you off of songs.
Yeah. I was going to be on maybe one of the first singles of the Muggs album.
Right.
Recorded in Rubber Track Studios.
Yeah.
You know. But,
you know,
such as, you know, I would love to work with Al again. I don't know if that's ever going to happen because of his close relationships.
Right.
Fraud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a guy I haven't spoken to in over, 6, 7 years.
Right.
I attribute that to the separation.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Wild. I was on the May Buck Wild album. I would love to work with.
Well, Buck Wild is cool, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Buck is cool. I would love to work with him.
Yo.
But, you know, he's close to May.
Right.
I understand that. And even Derringer. Me and Derringer at one time were talking about working together. And he has a whole album with me. So I'm not saying anything was told to these people.
Right.
But I could see how if you're around one person a lot more than you're around me, and we don't have that much of a relationship, you know, you might feel funny about working with me. So
yeah. Well, I mean, whatever happens, I think you'll still figure it out. Like,
I have a whole team of producers.
Yeah, like you, like bro, awesome. you trust me, you got a fan base that's already there. So I don't think you need to worry about it. I mean, it's just to me.
Shout to J Love. Shout to J Love for, you know, putting everything together. I don't think he gets enough credit.
Yeah.
His name is not mentioned at all, really. Yeah. And he's responsible for all of this at the end of the day. All of it.
I have a picture of all of us from remember Mayhem's when he came out with Just Can't Win, remember that one? We were all together. I have a picture with all of us in like one little shot.
That was a great time.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, like this was the good times. This is definitely the good. Listen, not for nothing, your outdoorsman stuff, you guys together were amazing.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the best music.
It stands the test of time. Like right now, you listen to Ray Lewis right now, crazy. You know, and even Sylvester Lundgren.
That was amazing.
I mean, they took you off the album. They took you off the album.
I'm still on the song.
You on the song?
I just didn't. They didn't put my name on the.
Oh, okay.
In the back of the album.
Oh, okay.
They can do that? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I think it was just pettiness, but
yeah.
You know, because if you're gonna take my name off of the, you know, the credits, then take my verse off the song. But my verse is still there. Why is my verse still there? It's easy to figure that out.
Tyson uppercut.
Because it's everybody's favorite verse on that song. But we did make timeless music together. I think we cheated the fans, if anything.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, that stuff stands the test of time. You hear them songs now and you bopping your head. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have a lot of material. Even songs that you and Mayhem did.
An album with the three of us together.
Would have been
produced
crazy.
by Alchemist and Fraud and Tommy.
Crazy.
Would have been, you know, who knows,
but
man. We could have set the blueprint that Griselda's sitting right now.
Yeah, but you know.
We had that lane.
I mean, you could still do that, you know? Like, Griselda's its own thing. You could still make something, you know? Like.
Yeah. But there's no crew element to it anymore, really. Everybody wanted to do their own thing. And
let's say you're going to put together a new crew.
I have a great crew, to be honest. Narcotex.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dax and
shout out to Dax
and
Empire.
Ark and Dozer the drum dealer.
Doza. What's up, Doza?
Incredible guys. We've made some beautiful music together.
Hell yeah. Those are my guys. I haven't seen them in a while, but especially Doza.
Yeah, he's such a talent.
He just came out with something
Such
too.
a talent.
Yeah, he just came out with something too.
So yeah, I think you're right in that sense. You know, it could still be done, but
Definitely still be done.
especially now with this this resurgence of the
Right.
New York sound.
So what's up with the album you say is going to come out and has not come out?
The Revenant.
The Revenant. Like,
Man, I'm all over the place with the Revenant, man. I've went over this album up and down, left and right in my head a million times.
so put it like this: what stage? Because you work in stages. I've learned from years of being around you. So what stage are you at with the Revenant?
If the Revenant were
If it was like
Football game?
let's say if it was a football game. What quarter are we in?
I'm in the beginning of the third quarter.
Okay, that's okay. So that means you have recorded stuff for it.
Yes.
And it's coming. So, okay, you're in the third quarter. So what more do you have to do to make this a reality?
I have to live a little bit more
Okay.
because that was really the holdup on starting the recording process.
Right.
I like to live so I have something to talk about.
Okay. No, that's good.
And we have old records too.
Yeah, we have a lot of old records,
We
sir.
got one with Ali Vegas. Shout to Ali. I got Sean Price and Illa G.
So let me ask you about that. Okay.
I got
okay. Stop
Conway
it.
the
Stop it.
Machine.
Stop it a minute. Stop it. So you have the actual record now. That's because this was the problem. Let me tell people this about this story. So he goes, yo, I got this Sean Price verse. We was in Atlanta for A3C. Remember?
Yeah.
We got this Sean Price verse. He plays the song, and it's like the most amazing Sean Price verse that I've heard. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. It shit is crazy. Then you play it for Salim. Shout out to Salim. And that was the last time I heard it for years. And then you lost it or something like I don't know
still
what
have it.
happened. You lost it,
I have it.
got it back. So you have the verse now?
Yes.
You understand? You physically have it.
The song is finished.
The song is finished. Hallelujah. When you guys hear this song, what about since we're talking about unreleased songs, are you gonna use the Freeway song that you was gonna do? I still have that.
I'm not gonna use it because me and Free never got to touch base on following through.
Right. But that track is crazy.
You should touch base.
There was some slight contact there, and then
Right.
I think maybe he got sick around that time.
Right.
So kind of and who produced that? Beat Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Butcher produced that.
That song is hard.
It's a crazy song.
I still think you should use it.
I could switch
Put
up
somebody
a
else
few.
on it.
I could switch up a few things
Yeah,
and
put
maybe
somebody else
reach
on
out to Petey.
What year is that song from? Is it like
Wow, this is,
like Freeway, or is it like
No, it's about 2013, 2014.
Yeah,
Because we had it
14,
Because we had it
15.
for a while. Because we had we had all these songs that he had, and he was just sending me the beats.
So I did my verse.
You did your verse.
I wrote the hook and recorded the hook as a reference
Yeah.
and sent it to Amir,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. And then Amir was Freeway's manager. I don't know if he's still managing him, but
Right.
and then the contact at some point. Shout out to Amir, a great guy.
Yeah.
That's a brother of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But around the same time, also the separation started. So I don't know if he felt like
Right. But I don't think Amir would choose a side with
he
that.
wouldn't. But I think he'd back up from everybody.
Right.
He seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be in the middle of that.
And you also know Man Fights Dog. They have, from what I hear, they have a whole album, a remix album that never
Yes.
came out.
Yes.
And they have a track with you and Guilty Simpson,
Guilty Simpson.
that you didn't record on. You see, I know all this stuff. You
No, but
didn't want to record on it though.
But I didn't record on it because they're using my actual verse. So
Right.
they just needed his.
Yeah.
And then they changed the beat. It's a live instrument album.
Yeah.
Everything played out.
Yeah.
So just remixes, and so I didn't have to record anything for the album.
Right. They
just-
but I
yeah.
think they got his verse.
Yeah, they got his verse.
Is what I'm saying. So they have it. It's an actual song. It just never came out.
So we have that sitting, and
We gotta get on the horn with
at some
Ryan.
point we'll put out. Me and Ryan have spoke recently
Right.
about putting that out. So let's see what happens. I'm sure it'll be out before The Revenant. I'll tell you
Right.
that.
Yeah, but it should come out. It's a whole project.
No, definitely
You know what I'm
should
saying?
come out, and we'll probably do a vinyl on it as well.
Yeah. And so what's okay? So what's up with Sip the Nectar? Do you think it's gonna come out with a vinyl? Like, what's your thoughts on
I
that?
think so. I think it was. I hate to put albums against each other, but I feel like it was a better album than Crushed Grapes
Yeah, I mean, but
because it was more structured.
yeah, well, you were more, to me, you was more experienced at that point
I
to
was
put an album
a
together.
little more seasoned.
Yeah, because you did that one, so then you knew what you did, what you wanted, what direction you wanted to go in.
Cared about like track listing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You knew where to put placement, where this can go, where that go,
Placement.
what's in the beginning, what's in the end.
Crushed Grapes was just some.
We just threw it. We
raw,
threw
yeah.
it together. We literally threw it together.
The sequencing of an album is like
very important.
so important.
You want the next song to complement the last,
Right.
and it's telling a story. Kind of, it's putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And the sound you want to keep the listener's attention, but you also want to switch their moods from song to song. So, it's a journey. I love listening to albums and sequencing. I think "Off the Wall" by Michael Jackson is one of the best songs when it comes, best albums when it comes to sequencing.
Yeah, but and as you know, as you can see, GK, he's a polo Ralph Lauren wearer. He loves his polo.
A little something. I'm getting.
Yeah, I've been seeing
my
you-
weight back up.
I've been seeing your
seen his
pictures.
Instagram.
You've been wearing
I've
polo
seen
like
it.
crazy, bro. I don't know to call you polo pirate now.
I'm getting my pieces back together. I had a nice collection in high school, and I just got rid of everything.
What's your favorite piece?
Oh man, has to be the cream version of the iconic flag.
Oh, so you're a flag guy?
Yeah, I'm a flag guy.
I'm a Navajo flag guy. If I was to go down that path, I really like the Navajo flag for some reason.
And I'm past my Ralph Lauren point in life. I just like to just wear clothes. I wear different stuff. Occasionally I wear the polo, but
So
no.
are you just a pirate now? Are we
I mean,
dropping the
I'll
code?
wear polo here and there, but
Should we just call you the pirate?
you can just call me the pirate.
He's Chinatown Market pirate.
You know what I'm saying? But so what now you do have now this was confusing because this single came out a year ago, but there's a new single that's out from the Band of the Hawk guys. Where are they from, matter of fact?
They're from the South.
They're from the South, right?
Texas. They're from
They're real
Texas.
cool because they were messaging me because I was reposting their stuff, and they're like, and I, I have 3 different accounts. They're like, yo, good looking. I'm like, nah, this song is dope. And they have a song called 19 Mentality that you were on.
Yeah.
And for when I
First it was called 17 Mentality.
But it says 19
because
Mentality.
we did it in 2017.
Oh, you
But
see what
they
I'm saying? Like,
released
what
it
the
in
hell's going on now?
2019.
What are you guys doing?
They released it in 19, so they had to, switch that.
Oh, okay. But it's a dope song.
It's a dope song. It's a nice group of guys. They remind me kind of like a Souls of Mischief crew. They reached out. They were fans of the music,
Yeah.
and they took care of me, man. They said, "Listen,
Nice.
we want to work with you,
Right.
and what's the number?"
All right.
And in turn, I said, "All right, I'll give you guys 2 verses for a good number, and after
So
that,
I'm
we can work together. I'll never charge you again."
sorry to cut you off, but that other song, I saw you that you did 2 songs with them.
Yeah.
It's that one I think I saw it on
The Glow.
iTunes.
We did The Glow as well.
The Glow. That's what it is. The
Yeah.
Glow. That's a dope that beat. It's on iTunes, guys, called The Glow. That beat is crazy.
Yeah, check out Band of the Hawk, man. The Band of the Hawk.
Yeah.
Nice guys, collective from Texas. They
Right.
get busy.
So what can people expect? I know we got is the album still on sale or it's totally sold out now?
I'm not sure if it's sold out. You can hit the link in my Instagram bio to get to it. I'm not sure if it's sold out. I gotta check on it.
And that's tough.
There should be some left.
It's Tough Kong, right? Tough Kong Records?
Tough Kong.
Yeah, because I said Tough Gong. Like I
It's
was
Tough.
talking about in the first episode. I said Tough Gong.
It's Tough Kong. I
It's
think
Tough Kong.
They're based out of Paris,
Yeah.
France.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Tough Kong for putting this vinyl together.
Yes.
I also have some personal pieces on me, so if anyone wants them, autographed copy of the splatter version or the regular vinyl, just DM me and
Yes,
I'll autograph it and give you a good deal.
Yeah, so what you should do, I think, is this how we'll do it, guys. And I'll help them out. So after this, I'll put something up online if you want a splattered version. I'll ask him the price he wants to do. I have him autograph it, and I will send your information to him so he can, take care of you and ship it out. But it'll be up on the Super P Podcast Instagram information, the price. Is that cool with you, eh?
That's perfect. That's
Okay,
fine.
so we'll have it on there. We'll have the price. You can get it autographed, just like how you see it autographed on the show. He'll autograph it for you. We'll have the price. We'll give you, send me your address. I'll send you the information. You got to send him the payment, and boom. We'll just do it like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this show up because, we only have an hour here, and we covered a lot of stuff. So
Well, can I get one more question?
you got to hurry up.
Okay, be quick. A new generation of rappers. Do you listen to any of this new stuff?
I listen to a lot of Griselda, to be honest. I don't know if we can call them new generation because they're not.
They've been around forever.
They're not too much. They're not too younger than I am.
You remember when we first...
But they're new when it comes to being on the scene like that. So I do listen to a lot of Griselda. Who else do I listen to that's new? I like the Pop Smoke a lot.
Pop Smoke was
I
great.
did.
Mm-hmm.
I like them a lot. I'm not too familiar with. There's still a lot of like the drill music that's popping now, and I'm not too familiar with most of it. So I would just say, yeah, Pop Smoke was pretty much. If you talk about the new guys, it was him. God rest his soul, and Griselda.
Right. But real quick, because we got to end the show. You remember when we met Westside before he was Westside at A3C?
Westside Gun was at
You
our
remember?
showcase
He was at AC3 for Rock, and he came. We were with Billy the Kid
in the backyard.
in the backyard. He came,
He was
and he
with Huss.
literally told me. But here's the thing: he told me what he had, the plan of how he was going to do this stuff, and he did it. So I give him a lot of props. I told him when I was talking to him backstage at Highline Ballroom, I said, "Bro, I remember you told me exactly what you was going to do, and you did it."
Yeah.
So you got to give
came.
him the utmost respect.
I think Huss Kingpin met up with him after they were together in Atlanta at the time. Maybe. Shout out to Huss.
Yeah.
It was a great time, man.
But anyway, AG, where can he find you online?
You can find me on Facebook under Coronelli. You can find me on Instagram under AG the Coroner. That's AGDACORONER. And the same on Twitter. Just look up my handle there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for any of the visuals or any of the music that's been released, go right to YouTube, go right to Google, throw my name in there, and anything that I've ever done will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Even the old stuff with
Yep.
the Outdoorsman.
Yep, yes sir. GK, where can he find you?
Still don't want to be found.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have like a sign off or anything like that.
Right.
See, yeah, that's like early Ghostface.
For real. So
Shout to Ghost.
you can find me at Polo Parata. You can check out the Super P Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. We'll be back with another episode. Thank you for AG for coming through. Thank you for the Brooklyn Podcasting for covering us and letting us, have the show here. And we'll be here in a couple of weeks with another guest and another show. See you guys later. Wash your hands, social distance, and we're out of here. Ciao.